What up, bitches? Back at it again with another episode of the motherfucking CJ Bronson podcast. Today is Saturday, July 2nd, 2022. Hope you guys are enjoying it. It's 90 plus in the car, or outside in Jersey. It's supposed to be raining soon, by 5 o'clock. Hopefully that comes, because I am dying. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good time at the beach, at the pool, or maybe you're just relaxing with a nice cold drink. Excuse me while I do the same. And maybe that's what you need to do. You know, maybe you're not working today. You're lucky. You're blessed with working a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and you get the weekend off to relax or catch up on what you want to catch up on, which is great. I know Stranger Things is out. Check out Volume 2. I think it's Season 4. I'm definitely going to be watching that later. And I think there's a new Netflix movie I want to check out with Kevin Hart and The Rock, Toronto. So that sounds pretty good. I have Netflix, so I'm going to watch it. Let's be real. But with that being said, I have a good story, a positive story, an uplifting story about a hero. I call this man a hero. He is a man, he's 93 years old, a plumber, shoots the home intruder, and scares off accomplices. This is why I love guns. I believe that guns are very important to have. Second Amendment, protects the First Amendment. I really believe we need to have them because these people who are breaking into the homes with their illegal weapons, they don't give a damn if it's legal or not. If you own a gun, if they outlaw guns, it's going to make these people with illegal guns more entitled, or more have more confidence to rob and do other things, carjack, commit more crimes. Because they're going to think that you're not going to be carrying a weapon. They probably thought the same. This 93-year-old man ain't going to have no weapon. Well, guess what, motherfucker? A 93-year-old retired plumber turned the tables on a group of would-be burglars, shooting one of them and scaring the rest off after they broke into his LA home. Authorities. Wow. California still in the news, still with the lax laws. That's what I call it. LAX, lax laws. Lackadaisical, not really enforcing the law in California. It's kind of like a frenzy. In my opinion, it's just like crime-ridden, crime-infested. Just, ugh. But my man Joe, he ain't going nowhere. He's like, I got your ass. The elderly homeowner, Joe Howard Teague, called 911 just after 12:30 in the morning Wednesday to say he'd confronted several home intruders, and was holding them at gunpoint, yo. My man, don't you fucking move an inch. That's what he was doing. He's like, yo, don't you move. 12:30 in the morning, my man was up and ready. Yo, 12:30 in the morning, I'm half asleep in a coma. There's no way. Maybe it happened to him before. Maybe he's been robbed before, and he's like, I'm not going out like no bitch. I approached them to put them under citizen's arrest, he told ABC 11 outside his home Thursday. They wouldn't adhere to that, and then one of them came at me with a fishing pole. What? So he said, you're under citizen's arrest. They wouldn't listen. One of them came at him with a fishing pole. Teague said the suspects, who had kicked his door open, started throwing objects at him as he pointed his gun in their direction. It was just like somebody comes to a gunfight with a pocket knife, I like this guy. I like this guy already, man. This guy, I hope he gets some kind of award. See, we need to start rewarding homeowners and really start encouraging this type of behavior because, number one, you're getting criminals off the street. Number two, you're saving taxpayer dollars because you don't have to worry about the cops doing this. And number three, there's a very high chance that these criminals will not be doing this again, especially if they're dead. But let's see. So when authorities arrived on the scene, they found one suspect, 33-year-old Joseph Ortega, suffering from a gunshot wound inside the home. I'm assuming he tried to attack him with the fishing pole, I'm assuming. Witnesses said they saw his alleged accomplices flee the home on foot before authorities arrived. Investigators have established that several individuals, including Ortega, were inside Teague's property when a shooting occurred, the sheriff said. The homeowner, who was not injured at all, was questioned by police and later allowed to return home. He's 93, y'all. He don't give a damn. What are you going to do, put him in jail for life? He don't care. What's that going to be? I mean, no offense to him, I'm just keeping it real. Let's see here. Not injured at all. Good for the homeowner. The sheriff's office said the initial investigation showed that Teague was justified in the shooting, but the probe was still ongoing. A man whose wife is related to Teague said the elderly homeowner had been the victim of several recent break-ins. Didn't I call it? I said, yo, my man was probably up every night thinking, I'm not going to sleep no more because I'm sick and tired of these motherfuckers breaking in. They always break. He probably figured out their schedule that they break in, after midnight. So he was up. He's probably been up every night waiting. He's like, yo, next time. He was on some fucking Charles Bronson shit. He was like, yo, next time these motherfuckers come in here, I'm popping off. And good for him. Good for him. He was tired because every time he calls the police were taking forever to come and assist him. Story we hear time and time again. I love the police. Everyone knows I love the police, but they are greatly defunded, especially in California. They are greatly defunded. We need to fund the police so they can do their jobs, do their patrols, do their investigations properly. We need to give them the tools that they need to succeed. That is, I mentioned that in my book, Worthless. It's on Amazon, $3.99. Check that out. Great read. It's a 5-star rated book. I highly recommend it. It's a good time. But I think that's the problem, plus 911. Man, they take a while, think about it. That intruder was already there. Those people were already in his house. By the time the cops even responded, they would have been gone. Who knows what they would have done to this man if he did not have a weapon? Who knows? There was a lot of them. If he would have woken up in the middle of the night or not had a gun and they broke in, he might have been dead. He's 93. Luckily, he had a gun to protect himself. And again, like I said, he protected others because these people may not return to this neighborhood again. If they do, they're pretty dumb. Because I bet you the neighbors now know, you know what? Having a gun is a good ass idea, because look how well it worked out for Mr. Teague. But yeah, it worked out great for Mr. Teague, and I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are like, oh, what about this? What about the poor victim? Well, I'm happy to report that Mr. Ortega, the injured suspect, was hospitalized. He's in critical condition, so don't worry there. I'm also happy to report that because he's defending his property as of right now, there have been no charges against Mr. Teague, or Teague, however you pronounce it, the 93-year-old plumber, retired plumber, because it happened inside of his home. So there shouldn't be any reason for there to be a charge. It was in his home, it was on his property. He was defending himself and his dwelling. Which again, this is one of the reasons why I say it's important to own a pistol or handgun or any kind of firearm to protect your belongings, to protect yourself and those that you love or care about, because we're in a different world now. This is not the world where, again, I've been saying you cannot leave your front door open. You can't trust your kids to go online, social media, if they're under 18. You can't even trust your kid to ride his bike, really, down the street unless he has a taser or a mace or some kind of, maybe a buddy system. I'm sorry. Especially if you have a daughter. I'd be even more paranoid. I'm lucky I have a son. If I had a daughter, I'd be like, here's a handgun. I don't know what else to tell you. Here's a taser. I'd have to I don't know. Everything you do is going to be in pairs. You're going to the bathroom in pairs. You're going everywhere together. Buddy system. Because the world that we're living in today, I've seen videos of people literally getting kidnapped off the street. Getting an ice cream, and next thing you know, they're getting kidnapped. Like on CCTV, and there's nothing you can do. They're gone. All you have is this footage, which is so depressing and sad. But this is why a lot of people are like, oh, we don't need guns. We don't need guns. Look at Venezuela. That country literally collapsed as soon as they got rid of guns. An entire country collapsed. Gangs took over. The military and police couldn't do shit because the illegal weapons took over. Now the homeowners are fucked, literally and figuratively. And they were forced out of the country, basically, to survive, with what they could. I mean, look at the stores now. People are breaking into Nordstrom. The other day I saw there was a mass, what do you call it when a group of people just jump into a store? I forget the name of it. where they all just run in together and just grab everything they can from Nordstrom's, whatever, Macy's, whatever the fuck, and they just, a whole bunch of them just shoplifting as a team, as a group effort. Like, what are you going to do if you're a small business owner and that happens to you? Just going to hope insurance covers it? Well, guess what? Every time you make an insurance claim, your policy will go up. Then now you're paying more per month for your insurance, or per term for your insurance. Then you're hoping, you're praying that you're not injured, or your workers aren't injured in the process, or worse, killed. Because eventually, it's not always going to be smash and grab, which it's been. Sometimes it may, I'm not wishing it, but I'm predicting that it will probably escalate from there. Because if they're getting away with it, smashing and dashing, then what's preventing them from going even further? Saying, hey, where's the safe? Give me the code combination for the safe. You don't know the combination, and things get worse. Things escalate. I'm not wishing it. I am not hoping this happens. I am making a prediction, because if we don't nip it in the bud, if we don't try to stop it, it will escalate. That's just the nature of things. Politics, it's the same thing. If we keep giving up our rights, giving up our freedoms, right? That whole Ministry of Truth thing, they were going to tell us, they were going to run the country, basically run social media and tell us what's true and what's not. We nipped that in the bud. We need to stop giving up our power. If we give them our power, they will just keep taking more and more of our freedoms away. They already have the money. They have all the money they can think of. Millions and millions, all of them. Insider trading, whatever the hell you want to call it, they have it. My opinion, right? Don't quote me on anything. This is just me being me. I'm not a doctor, not a scientist, nothing. I'm just my opinion, my observation. This is what I see. And you can go back in history and you can look it up, and you could see, Freedom of Information Act, it all started back there, and we started giving away our rights. Edward Snowden was warning us. Edward Snowden from the NSA, he warned us that they were spying on our phones, or hey, they're spying on us, okay. And then it just escalated from there. Now we have freedom of speech, somewhat, but as long as you say what's the narrative. If you stay in the boundaries of what they allow you to say, then you're fine. The argument is that really freedom of speech when you basically have to censor yourself? Like even me right now, I can't even say what I want to say because I'm going to get hit with some kind of YouTube ban or whatever, some kind of misinformation tag at the bottom of my video or my audio, my podcast, because people are going to, they're going to automatically assume that I'm spreading lies or spreading misinformation. But I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm just giving you my observation. I thought I was allowed to do that, but apparently I'm allowed to as long as it falls in the guidelines of their narrative. Which to me sounds like some bullshit, but that's the world that we're in right now. My point of bringing this up is we let them do this. We gave up a lot of our freedoms because we sat back and said, and thought it was cool, thought it was all good, no problem. We accept it. And the people who are fighting against it are the ones who are being banned. I believe Jordan Peterson was just banned, I believe, off of Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. You may have looked that up. I know he's on the Daily Wire, but I believe he was recently banned on Twitter. Plus, there's a lot of us being shadow banned on Twitter, which means that you're not banned, but a lot of the stuff that you're posting is not being seen by your followers. So, I don't know. That's kind of iffy, right? I mean, look what happened to the former president, President Trump, former president, completely banned. How are you going to ban this man for eternity? But you have like the Taliban and you have all these other similar groups allowed to spread hate and all this stuff on the platform. Doesn't make any sense to me, but it should be fair. If you're going to ban one, ban them all. Or you allow them all to express the freedom of speech that they're supposedly given by being a citizen of this country, being in this country. I mean, think about it. You have people that are not even in this country who are spreading hate and telling, like we're talking like massive hate And they have a full Twitter page, no problem. They're not even in this country, not even protected, supposedly by the Bill of Rights, by the Constitution. They're not even protected by that shit. But they have more freedoms than a former president. It doesn't make any sense. It's just like I said, I've been saying, everything's all upside down. Everything's all messed up. So, is it better to have a gun? Yes. In your household. I truly believe so. Because like the saying goes, it's better to be safe than sorry. It's better to be safe than sorry. Luckily this man was able to get one in time. I'm actually impressed he was able to purchase one or get one in California. I don't know the procedure of what it takes. I know in New Jersey it can be quite difficult and daunting. Democratic states, they don't really make it easy to own one. And that's just a fact. Look it up in New York. I know for a fact that that's very difficult to get. But this plumber was able to get one, and luckily he did. And he was able to control the situation because he's a 93-year-old elderly man. Otherwise, how else would who knows what would have happened to him? He's a hero in my mind because, again, he saved countless other crimes from taking place. Because who knows where these people would have struck next? And if that would have been violent, he potentially saved lots of lives. Hero. So my hat goes off to shout out to the retired plumber, 93-year-old out of Cali. I want to make sure I get his name correct. Give me 1 second. Let me pull the article back up. And his name is Joe Howard Teague. Shout out, Joe. Appreciate you, man. You're good man. You're a hero. Keep up the good fight. Guys, be safe out there this holiday weekend. Enjoy, barbecue, grill. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Give me your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think this guy's a hero? Do you think that every homeowner should have a handgun just for their own protection? Do you think that's needed in this type of world, or do you believe that it depends on your situation, or it depends on the neighborhood that you live in, whether or not your neighborhood is in a bad area? I don't know, because as a criminal, I think people would rob rich areas because they would assume you have more shit. So you really can't say that it depends on the area. But that's my opinion. I don't know. I don't have the stats to prove it. But if everyone who owns a home or has a household, apartment, whatever, owned a gun, I think criminals would be more reluctant or more hesitant to try and rob somebody. They'd be like, "Oh shit, I don't want to risk it. They may shoot me." But if the guns are banned, they're gonna be like, "Yo, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Throw the phone book at me? What's he gonna do? Throw his iPad? What's he gonna do? I'm just gonna go in there and shoot up the place and take what I want, or do worse." Especially if there's kids involved, you know how these people are. All right, guys. This was a good story to me. This is very positive. I'm happy that this guy turned out okay, and he saved again his life and potentially others. So take that for what it is. Love you guys as always. Talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy. Bye-bye.